When you start self-improving, there's 3 mistakes that you gotta watch out for. 3 mistakes that I've seen, 3 mistakes that I've made. And if you've been working on yourself, amazing. If you've been hitting the gym, amazing. If you've been dabbling into, some of the self-help books, podcasts, but it still feels like something's missing, this is the video. There's 3 pretty big traps that no one really talks about, that no one really warns us about. And so if you've been feeling frustrated, if you've been thinking, why am I not where I want to be yet? I've been there. I've been there where I was doing everything right. I was checking all the boxes. I had my habits in check, right? I was working out consistently. I was reading every single day, learning something new every single day, becoming better every single day. Financially, I was good. Professionally, I was good. Internally, not good. Not satisfied. Did not feel like I was where I wanted to be. And honestly, couldn't even understand why on the outside, it's like I had progressed. But on the inside, it's like I felt worse. And I was like, why is all this personal development? Why is all of this self-improvement and this self-help not getting me to where I want to go? Why do I not feel more confident? Why do I not feel better about myself? And so there's 3 mistakes. And here's the deal, bro. By the time we get to mistake number 3, you're going to realize why a lot of the self-development gurus or the self-development plans that are out there, I'm not here to knock any of them, but you're going to understand some critical things that they overlook, some traps that a lot of us at some point in our journey are going to fall into if people don't tell us about them. So with that being said, we're going to get into the first one, but I'm going to get on the road real quick and we'll get into the first one. Mistake number 1 is being only focused on external results, just only focusing on the external result, right? So we're looking at, I want to get in better shape. I want to have a better body. I want to make more money. I want to have a better job, a better career. And just being only focused on these external outcomes, being only focused on the result, right? A lot of people, a lot of guys have this idea, right? We buy into this idea that the only thing that matters is results. The only thing that matters is the outcome. And that simply isn't true. It's not. It's important to get results, right? I'm not here to say that it's not. It's important to always be working on your body, to always be in the gym, right? To be getting stronger, to be the best version of yourself that you can be. It's important to make more money, right? But we know money's not everything. And hopefully you get to a point where you realize working out and lifting weights isn't everything, right? These gains aren't everything. These external results are not everything. And it's easy to feel that way, and it's easy to fall into that trap because we're often validated by the external results and success that we have. And in that same vein, we're often invalidated if we haven't reached a certain point yet. But the truth is, bro, you're going to get the things that you want. I believe in you. I believe that you're going to get in shape and keep getting better. I believe that you're going to make more money. I believe that you're going to keep progressing. But what I also know is if you don't focus on the internal work and the internal development, I also know if you don't focus on those things, you're going to lose the external things too. You're going to feel stuck still. You're going to feel dissatisfied, right? Because being in really great shape does not automatically mean you have emotional intelligence. Making a lot of money does not automatically mean you have emotional intelligence. Right? We can't only be focused on the external. We can't only be focused on the results. We also have to take a look at the internal. Are we leveling up our emotional intelligence? Are we leveling up our self-awareness? Right? Are we really getting to know who we are at the core? Are we really getting to understand ourselves, know what we're about, know what we're not about? Right? Are we really getting to know what triggers us? See, you don't want to be that person who's still emotionally immature, even though they got money, even though they got success, even though they're in shape. You don't want to be that guy in his 30s, in his 40s, in his 50s who doesn't know how to manage his emotions. You don't want to be that. You don't want to be that guy who can't control himself. You don't want to be that guy who, has a disproportionate response when someone supposedly disrespects you or checks you or disagrees with you. You don't want to be that guy who can't handle his lust and his temptations and embarrasses himself and embarrasses his family because he can't control himself. But this is what happens all the time. A lot of guys self-destruct because nobody told them that on the way to obtaining and acquiring these external results and success, they needed to develop themselves on the inside. And developing yourself on the inside might be looked at as feminine, might be looked at as soft, might be looked at as a waste of time, but it's not. It's not. And this is something that real men understand, bro. Real men understand the power and the necessity of the inner work. So mistake number one that a lot of guys make on their self-help, self-improvement journey is only being focused on the outcome, only being focused on the result. I can't stress this enough. If you do that, if you only focus on the external result, you're going to miss developing yourself internally. And when you don't really have a strong sense of who you are, you're going to break. It's going to break you when those external things that you validated yourself with change or disappear, right? We've seen those guys that they made a lot of money and then all of a sudden the money got funny and they took their own lives. Like we saw this in 2008. Maybe you didn't, right? But that's because they were so focused on the money, so focused on chasing, so focused on getting, right? We've seen the guys that reach the top and then they just self-destruct because they neglected dealing with themselves, dealing with their emotions, dealing with their traumas, dealing with their stress in a productive way. Okay? And a lot of us, how we're raised doesn't necessarily we don't necessarily learn how to deal with our emotions in a productive way. We don't necessarily even learn that it's okay to have emotions and it's okay to have, it's okay to not feel good sometimes. A lot of us in our environments are, it's wrong. It's wrong to have feelings. It's wrong to have our feelings hurt. It's wrong to even let anyone see us sweat, right? But I'm telling you, that stunts our emotional development. That stunts our self-awareness. And that impacts our ability to not only get success, but keep it when we have it. So I don't want you to fall into this trap, bro, because I fell into it. Nobody told me, right? Nobody told me. And so then I woke up one day not wanting to live anymore, even though I had gotten everything that I wanted, right? Nobody told me that there's more to this life than how many women I could sleep with in a week. And I know that this isn't the cool thing to say, bro, but I'm telling you, it's what you need to hear. This is real man talk. This is grown talk right here. This is what you need to understand. All right, so that's mistake number one. Mistake number two is looking for quick fixes instead of addressing the root issue, right? So let's talk about that. When we ask ourselves, are we truly happy? Are we truly living the life that we want? The first thing that we do, right? The first thing that we do is we start taking inventory of the things that we have. We start taking inventory of the results that we have. And guess what? If we feel like something's missing, then we're not happy. Then we're dissatisfied. But that's not the root of our dissatisfaction. That's not the root of our unhappiness. We have to get to the root. But what a lot of us do, I've done this, is instead I'll just go for the quick fix. I'm not happy, I need a new girl. Something's off, I'm not happy, right? I need to make more money. This is what we do, right? Like, it must be because I'm not making enough money. I'm making $10,000 a month, but I'm not happy, I'm dissatisfied. Okay, I gotta make $20,000 a month. But that's a band-aid solution, bro. That's a quick fix, right? Oh, I'm not happy. This girl's kind of getting on my nerves. There's probably a better one, right? Let me go get another girl. Let me go get a different girl. I'm telling you, This is the quick fix. This is the surface level solution. But what we have to do is we have to get to the root, bro. We have to get to the root of why we're really not happy. We have to get to the root of what's really causing us to not feel good. We have to get to the root of our dissatisfaction. We have to go beneath the surface, bro. We can't always be about the quick fix. We can't always be, well, I gotta get a new job. I gotta get a new relationship. I gotta get more money, right? Because ultimately, if you're not happy with the stuff, if you're not happy without the stuff, you're not gonna be happy with it, right? We can't keep looking for external solutions to internal problems. And that's often the mistake that a lot of us guys make, man. We look for external solutions to internal problems instead of just getting to the root, instead of just looking ourselves in the mirror, instead of just really taking a look at, okay, why am I really not happy? Right? Maybe it's because you settled, right? And maybe you have to make some tough decisions to undo that, right? Because you settled in some area of life. Or maybe it's because you need therapy, bro, right? Maybe you had a tough upbringing that prevents you from feeling good about yourself. No matter how far you've made it in life, no matter how much you've achieved, you still, feel like you're not enough, right? Maybe you need some therapy. Maybe you need some coaching, right? I've spent almost $100,000 on personal development, coaching, therapy, healing, all of this stuff, bro. And I'm paying it forward to you. I'm glad that you're watching this video, right? But this is the start. But maybe you need more of these things, right? So mistake number 2, man, is just only dealing at the surface level. But we have to look for internal solutions to external problems and recognize there's really no such thing as external problems. There's just us not being aware of what's really going on inside of us. So that's number 2. Now that we're here, let's go ahead and get to number 3. Now, mistake number 3 is trying to go through this self-improvement journey alone, trying to do it all by yourself. And it's often, celebrated, like being a lone wolf, being the person who, it's only me. I don't need nobody else, right? But there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with having a support system. There's nothing wrong with having a community. There's nothing wrong with having mentors. There's nothing wrong with having, your circle of guys that you talk to about this process of self-improvement, about this process of becoming better, right? But if you're trying to do it all by yourself, you're going to end up burned out. You're going to end up feeling isolated. You're going to end up feeling disconnected. And comment below if I'm preaching right now. Comment below if I'm talking to you right now. Let me know, right? Because I know it's a lot of us that have felt lonely on this self-improvement journey. There's a lot of us that have felt disconnected on this self-improvement journey because, maybe we recognized that we couldn't bring the people with us that we wanted to bring with us, right? Or maybe there's some of us who just recognize, like, you know what? I got some stuff that I really need to deal with before I can hit my next level. But I'm embarrassed about it, and I don't want to bring this to anybody else. But I'm telling you, the strong thing to do is to get support. The smart thing to do is to get support. The smart thing to do is to have mentors, right? The smartest thing to do is to have mentors, is to acquire more knowledge, right? A lot of people, might make fun of this internet marketer, social media guy, Ty Lopez, but one of the things that he always said was he always had mentors. He always had mentors worth millions and millions of dollars on the internet before anyone really knew about making money on the internet, right? This was him. And one of the things he always said was he had mentors. He didn't try to figure everything out on his own. Instead, he just went straight to the people who could help him, support him, and pour into him, whether they were for free or whether he invested to get around them. And I've done the same thing, right? Initially, I spent 8 years in the military, but you better believe I had mentors in the military, right? And then I went to therapy. I got coaches. I've got friends, right, that I talk to, that I work with along this process, along this journey of becoming better. And there's strength in community, bro. There's strength in collaboration. You don't need to be in competition all the time. You don't need to be isolated doing this by yourself all the time. So allow yourself to be supported in this journey. Allow yourself to have mentors. Don't try to do this by yourself. You're only going to get so far, right? But there's a saying, there's a cliche saying, right? Further together, right? We go further. If you want to go further faster, right? Do it together. Do it with other people. So those are the 3 mistakes, man. Those are the biggest ones that I've seen. Those are the biggest ones that I've fallen into. And so avoid them. Watch out for them. Now, you may have identified some other ones already in your journey. If you have, share them below. Let me know. Let's talk about it. But with that being said, I'm gonna go in the house. We're gonna have some dinner. We're gonna edit this video, get it up. And then we're gonna get ready to do some more traveling. We're gonna be in the DC area, the DMV area, coming up real soon. So again, if you're in the DMV area and you want to connect, let me know. If that's where you stay at, you got recommendations for me, let me know. But with that, my name is Sid Scott. Thank you for watching another video. I'll see you in the next one.